tropical lights, they shine so bright. Kings of Tuesday night, so out of sight. Sammy and Steve, they're leading the crew. Fins TV bringing the heat, it's what we do.
Dolphins dive, the ocean's alive. No matter what, we thrive. We thrive.
Fins TV, Kings of Tuesday nights. Miami Dolphins, we take the flight. No matter what, at least we have each other. This is the vibe, there's no need for another. Palm trees sway to the baseline beat. From a 305, the energy sweet. Sammy and Steve, they're calling the plays. Fins TV, the rhythm always stays. Oh,
Dolphins dive, the ocean's alive. No matter what, we thrive. We thrive.
Fins TV, Kings of Tuesday nights. Miami Dolphins, we take the flight. No matter what, at least we have each other. This is the vibe, there's no need for another.
Miami's got the Dolphins, the greatest football team. Take off from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. 'Cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one.
Ride the wave. Miami perfect, we're living the dream. Fins TV, Kings of Tuesday, so supreme. Turn it up loud, feel the bass in your soul. Miami Dolphins, yeah. We're reaching the goal.
Yeah, your host Fins Sammy, aka Fins Sammy, and a co-host Steve Hallett. Steve, welcome back to Fins TV.
Man, 2 weeks off, there's a new intro song. This is lit, man. I dig this. Sorry, I can't say it's lit. This is fire. That's what I gotta say, you know? My kids don't connect, you know? That's sharp, man. I'm digging that. How you been, buddy?
I'm doing great. So thank you for Adrian Rainey, our friend Rainey, who's, under the weather today, for hooking us up with the music, great creation by Adrian Rainey. So I appreciate that. So let's start right to it. So on this episode of Fins TV, Steve, when do you win? When you win and it doesn't feel like a win. That's what happened Sunday with the Dolphins beat the Saints. It was kind of a weird game. Dolphins going away with the W, but did it feel like actually like a win? We're going to talk about that. And, the Dolphins 3 in a row. So we're going streaking, Steve. The Dolphins win 3 in a row, but, with 12 regression, we'll have to see if the Dolphins can, keep the pace they're going with 3 weeks in a row. And, it's for time for some Fins TV overreaction. So many Dolphins fans already seen themselves winning out and being in the playoffs. So we're gonna see if that's an overreaction by the fan base. Usually overreactions are negative, but this might be a way too positive overreaction by some on Dolphins Nation. So we're gonna talk about that.
It is a good day for overreactions. It's a good day to break down a win that you say seemed like a loss, maybe.
That's kind of weird.
There's a lot of positives, and I'm bringing some positivity to this today, man.
I love it. The blinking the hope you. I like it. So we're gonna start with the game was against the Saints.
Makes his living. Snap, botched, but recovered by Tua. Throws and open for the first down. Inside the 40. All the way down around the 30 is Malik Washington. The pitch to HN. The Saints trying to seal it off, and he's loose. HN for the end zone. He is in for a Dolphin touchdown. Chuck fires and knocked away at the last moment after the penalty from the pocket. Tua's going to have to scramble, and he'll be sacked again. Went out. Who knows? Crazier things have happened in the NFL. That pass complete. And slipping tackles. Cedric Wilson will. He picked up 16. Tua to throw again. Wide open. He's got it in midfield. Darren Waller. 3rd and 6. Pressure coming. The blitz. And Tua gets rid of the football. And he doesn't to try a 39-yard field goal. They signed him for depth. Chuck to throw, and he's hit. That ball's out. And that's a recovery of a loose football by Zach Sealer. 37-yard line. Tua's going to go deep. In between a couple of Saints. Picked up. Pass is incomplete. Split between us before throwing the flag as HN can't find any room, but he makes some. Devon HN. High percentage completions as the run game works with HN. Oh, he slips another tackle. He's got a first down. And still working his way. Try. Patterson hit from 39, and pass is intercepted. It's a Miami takeaway. And can he take it all the way back? Rasul Douglas. The pitch. HN. And he is money. From the 17. Chuck hesitates, sees the room to run for the end zone. Yes! Chuck rolling, and he's going to keep, and Tyler Shuck converts. Fake to HN. Tua will pass, and it's dropped. Saints defense has played outstanding. Tua has time, delivers this, and it's caught for a first down. Tyler Shuck, he is in the pocket. Can he escape? Oh, he's sacked at the 10-yard line by Bradley Chubb. What a... Tua to throw. He's got time and open. His waddle. It's still on his feet. He got to the 32 before the Saints shoved him back. His head coach said he acts cool, but he spends a lot of time privately preparing. And here he goes again. With the rain falling, and Tua to throw again, and he'll be sacked. Inside the pass plays called, and the Saints were ready for all of them. But they can count. The kick. It's up. It's out. And it's good. 11 on 3rd down. Here comes pressure. Chase Young is in his face. Tua, can he run for the first? He slid a little bit early. It's going to be where the knee and the ball are. Keep it himself. Handoff. Gordon, and he won't get it. For the end zone. Did he hang on? Devon Bailey. Touchdown set. Tyler Shuck throws. It's intercepted. He can get points on the return. And on the run, Minka Fitzpatrick. He's going to go all the way and seal it for Miami. A sealed off play by Minka Fitzpatrick on the 2-point conversion to tie. And now to try for the first, he stood strong.
Well, Steve, I said it before. I think we can call it now the Dolphins won the Ramsey Fitzpatrick trade because basically that won the game for the Dolphins. That double conversion, after all the momentum gone, it was so close. So, what are one of your thoughts about the game was against the Saints on Sunday?
First, people need to check Jack Jones's betting history because my man tried to give that damn game away. I forgot about that toe touch. It was on him in the end zone on the touchdown, and then at the last drive for the Saints. He damn near tripped over the goal line trying to give that one away. I think it was Olave. But and I'm not gonna. Okay, so a joke about that. He's been performing above my expectations this year. And I don't want to.
It's a bargain.
Insane. So I will spend a very small amount of time here on the 4% of the starters on this team that is just shitting the bed right now. Tua We're going to talk about you later on, but I tell you right now, you are hurting this team with how you were playing. But we won, and I want to give some kudos to some of these dogs. Okay, Jordan Brooks. The man is straight up crushing it, all pro style. Has a 19 tackle lead right now on the second leading tackler in the NFL. How many games we got left to play? 5?
Yes.
Insane how he's playing right now. Devon Achane. Kidding me with this guy. He's running like a bell cow, but he doesn't need to run like a bell cow because he's not getting hit really hard. Knock on wood, okay? Third place in the league right now behind Cook and Jonathan Taylor. Seriously, give the man a lot of credit. He is outperforming my expectations of him, and I was ready to go streaking through the quad, speaking of streaking for this episode, when we drafted him a few years ago. Number 2 linebacker. He's number 10 in the AFC right now in tackles. I did not have Terrell Dotson doing as well as he's doing this year. Seriously, he played out of his mind. And then whether he wanted to be here or not, whether I wanted him to be here or not, really didn't matter. Nobody checked with me before they traded for him. But Minkah Fitzpatrick seriously did put the team on his shoulders at the end there. He is playing with a lot of heart. He's playing with leadership. The defense has somehow managed to dig out some leaders this year where we didn't have any last year. It's really refreshing to see how Jordan Brooks and Minkah Fitzpatrick are playing, not only on the field, but as a presence as leaders. They really showed up. It was impressive.
Absolutely. Well, without further ado, let's welcome the Fins TV crew of Shari, Hallett, and Dolphins Warrior, USA Today's Jason Sarney. Good evening, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm going to start with Shari.
That's legit. That's our Dolphins tree.
Yes, nice. That's our Dolphins tree. Somewhere we're here. There.
That's very nice. I like it. I'm going to start with Shari because I already had a chance to speak about the post game with our friend Jesus Fine on Fins Fable. Shari, after the game, for me, it didn't feel like a win. During the game, I wasn't stressed out. That's the feelings I have. A win is a win, regardless. The Dolphins found a way to win the game. That's basically what Mike McDaniel said. It's a win, no matter how you get it. But I want to know your thoughts on what the game was, I guess, this day on Sunday.
I agree. The emotion wasn't there. We actually were joking about it at our house because everyone who was at Thanksgiving, well, not everyone, most people that were at Thanksgiving were at our house for the game, and we were all just dead. We were so tired. My sister and they're just like, we're winning and we're not yelling. I'm like, I'm so tired. I can't right now. But it didn't feel like an exciting win, but a win's a win. You said it. And Steve, you mentioned a lot of the standout performers, so I'm not going to reiterate what you said. I'm going to mention Chop Robinson, who had his best game of the season. It wasn't a phenomenal game by any stretch, but we finally said his name again. It's been a while. 1.5 sacks. I think he had three quarterback hits, a tackle for a loss, and was part of that 4th down stop. So I'm thankful for Chop Robinson this past game. And I will reiterate a little. Achane's a beast. Watching him run is glorious. It makes my heart feel good. It gives me hope. I just look at it and go, okay, Tua, you go away because I'm done looking at you. And Steve and I discussed this either yesterday or the day before. He is running like mad. And on this podcast at the beginning of the season, we said the key to this season is going to be to run the ball. Even if it looks like we can't, keep doing it, because once you get the defenses to commit to covering that run, it will open up the pass. Now we just have to find someone who doesn't stick in the mud when they're behind the line, who can actually move. And I know we're locked into Tua next year. I get it. His contract's ridiculous. And it's that, the gloriousness and the hopefulness I feel with Achane, I feel the exact opposite with Tua right now. We'll discuss that later on. I was thankful for Achane. I was thankful for Chop Robinson. I know Chubb made a great play. Riley Patterson, let's not forget, made all 4 attempts on his field goals. He's looking great. Somebody asked what happened to Jason Sanders, and we haven't had to ask because Riley's been pretty darn consistent. So I'm happy with his play. I'm sorry about the voice. We went out for my sister's birthday to a piano bar and someone sang too loud for too long. And so now I sound very sultry. Sure, we'll call it that.
It's a sultry voice.
I don't know how I can top that. Jason, what are your thoughts? That is the kind of game that you're happy that you won, because if you would have lost, the frustration would be unbearable on X, on everywhere. Even for myself, I would have lost a gasket if the Dolphins would lose that game. So I want to know your thoughts about what the game was against the Saints.
I mean, look, you can be happy that they got a win. You can be happy that they won 3 in a row, 4 out of 5. But at the same time, you can still be a little concerned about the overall product. You could be concerned about Tua. You could be concerned a little bit about the offensive line. There was some spurts, they look great. Spurts, they look terrible. But to piggyback off of what Shari said, and Steve, you could look at the individual performances. Achane is an absolute monster. For my money, he's an all-pro this year. He probably won't get all-pro. He'll probably get a Pro Bowl because, there's 5, 6 really terrific backs in this league. But when you look at Achane, just to kind of move aside and talk about him for a second, he's third in running backs in scrimmage yards. He's second among running backs in receptions. He is third among running backs that have over 175 carries to qualify in yards per carry. This is a man who should not be comparable to Jonathan Taylor, who is the league leader in yards per carry. It's almost like someone took Ricky Williams and Reggie Bush and just popped them together, and that is music to all of our ears, and he's playing phenomenally, Devon Achane. And you mentioned Riley Patterson. Shari, we all loved what Jason Sanders could do for this team when he's on, but Patterson has made us almost say, Jason who? Take the year off, you're fine, get healthy, but you got to understand that Riley Patterson has missed only 2 field goals all season, and he's won a game in overtime, so kudos to him. And to stay on special teams, the Dolphins have Jake Bailey, who is leading the NFL in net yard per punt. So when you're asking someone to flip the field or put the opposing offense, in a little bit of a troubled scenario, on average, he's doing that better than anybody. He probably won't make the Pro Bowl, but he should. And, of course, Jordan Brooks is shades of Zach Thomas. He's leading the league in tackles, as you mentioned.
Incredible.
But when you look at where a lot of these tackles are, it's not just in the middle of the field. It's on the sidelines. It's in the secondary. He's in coverage.
It's in the backfield.
It's all over the place. And the individual performances are fine, but if the Dolphins fan base has any hope of them running the table, a lot of things need to be kind of improved, and McDaniel has to continue doing with what is working, running the ball, and hopefully that is going to continue. So, yeah, be happy, but let's not go punch a ticket to 10 wins just yet.
Oh, no doubt, man. I mean, I told you, I'm not alone in this, but I have really, truly enjoyed the past several weeks of football. Not only because some of them have been football-free Sundays because we haven't played normal time, and it's just really chill when I don't have to sit there and watch them in the afternoon. But my expectations were low, and it's not hyperbole. They were literally low. So getting this experience of how we're playing, seeing how Achane, somebody said how he creates holes. He does. It's almost like I will never compare Achane to Derrick Henry, who's like a Mack truck riding downhill. But how he used to be able to go outside and cut that outside zone at the perfect time, it is an art. And Achane has proven that he has that vision to do those cuts at a very, very well-timed moment that create those holes and create that extra yardage that he does. It's just really exciting. I wouldn't have expected, I didn't call for us legitimately to have more than 4 wins, to be in this situation, to have a fun team to watch, where literally everybody except for one player is exceeding my expectations. I'm enjoying it.
I went back to the previous show.
Steve is flipped.
It's fun right now.
Yeah.
We're not going to win. I'm not calling playoffs. Trust me, we'll get to the overreaction segment here in a while.
I went back to look at the season preview, and I said I wanted to see what we said the Dolphins season total for wins was.
I said 6.
6, 7, 7, 6, 6, 7. Basically, that was said. So they're on par to basically just be round or where we said it will be. So should we really feel disappointed when basically we expected this? And the disappointment we're going to talk in the next segment is on the quarterback, because the quarterback play on Sunday. Woo, I've been a supporter of Tua. I don't deny it. I'm front and center, but and we're gonna talk about that more a little bit later. But everybody has said, no, Tua sucks. He's not bad. No, this is bad Tua. This is the Tua that people say he was when he wasn't bad. Now he's bad. I said it on Sunday. I saw other people. I saw Omar and I saw Joe Rosen on Monday. The decline physically is huge. And during that game, not only the bad decisions, the bad throws, he could not. You saw in the highlights. He could not escape the pocket. He's run from behind from anyone, and he slide down for that first down.
Ridiculous.
And he just said, "Yeah, you're short."
It's so hard to watch. It's so
almost
hard to
embarrassing.
watch.
It's sad. It gets to the point for me that's always been a Tua supporter. It gets to be sad because the decline physically, and I don't think he realizes how much the decline is. He said a comment during the season, the start of the season, about the physical tools, being declining, but I don't think he even knows how much they have declined physically. The speed, the arm straight, the
It's
accuracy is
just
probably
denial. It's denial. He's in denial.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in denial too soon, Steve, because I don't know what else to say about Tua. It's really frustrating, and the Dolphins, they're just a mess because the cap, Steve, is just a huge problem.
You know what? I'm not going to be all positive, but I'll find some positivity to close out this whole talk. Unless Antwan comes in here and just makes me really miserable, I think I'll close on some positive stuff.
Let's go to the next segment. Let's go a little bit of Tua, and let's welcome our guest, Antwan Staley. Let's go.
Yay, Antoine.
Of course. Definitely starts with me, starts with my performance, with how I distribute the ball, how I operate the guys. I would say that first, but I want to give our defense, a lot of praise. Also want to give a big shout out to Devon crossing 1,000 yards. I would say it's, it reverts back to how I'm playing or how I'm operating for those guys. When I'm able to distribute the ball well, the operation as well, the run game helps with that. And so, as I said, that starts with me. I don't think there's room for complacency in the NFL. There's no room for any team to get comfortable, especially towards the backstretch of the season. And for our team, we don't have any room, for us to be enjoying too much. We got to dig ourselves out of this hole, but it feels good when you get to come off a bye week, little rust here and there. But at the end of the day, you get a win. It's always good.
Well, Steve, we're heading into the final stretch of the regular season. The narratives couldn't be more conflicting. The Dolphins need to keep their winning streak alive to keep some hope of making the playoffs and the heat of head coach Mike Daniel. Yet, the essential conflict looming over this powerful surge isn't the upcoming opponents. It's the physical and functional regression of Tua Tagovailoa. For Miami to even really be competitive, Tua needs to be upward in an upward trajectory in terms of health, decision making, and consistent execution. The team immediate success is tied to winning the next game, but their ultimate destiny rests on Tua's ability to maintain and elevate his performance under the most intense pressure. Can the Fins balance the urgent need for a streak with the decline in physical tools from their franchise quarterback? Steve, the Dolphins right now, 3 in a row for the Dolphins. They found a way to win. The defense has actually seen the expectation. They get in the upwards. They're getting better. They're playing better. The run defense is much better. The secondary has, exceeded everyone's expectations. But, Devon A-Chain is a star. We lost Tyreek Hill. And the receiving corps are so-so, but we kind of survive. But Tua decline, physical decline, the regression is huge. So the Dolphins trying to progress, trying to save Mike Daniel's probably job and try to save the season, which, if you ask me, there's no way of doing. But the physical tools of Tua right now are a mess. What are your thoughts about going forward with Tua's regression and what the Dolphins need to do to try to save the season, Steve?
So, well, I think that the regression, everybody's seeing it. It's really, really, it's kind of, it's unfortunate for him as a player, but it's also come at a time where you've seen his demeanor change. And I will never say that Tua is not a mental competitor, that he's not out there, but he's the one who came into his press conferences 2 weeks in a row and basically just said, look, I go home, I pop in some Disney movies with my kids, and I sit down and I just chill because that's what matters the most to me. So the guy got paid. He just needs to start opening his press conferences, maybe drop a couple Disney movie, Easter eggs, some little comments, It'd be awesome if he popped in a couple Incredibles quotes or something like that, because that movie is legit. And then just it closed out every press conference with David Chappelle, I'm rich bitch, and just honks the horn and just walks off stage, because frankly I joke, but it's extremely frustrating. But my take on this is, if this is the prime opportunity for Mike McDaniel to save his ass with this team. Now he didn't, he fed Achane the ball, but he also ran the ball downfield and then proceeded to pass the ball 3 times in a row in the red zone, which then we get thank you, Riley Patterson, for being able to close it out with a field goal, but it's not what we needed. We needed more than that. So this is an opportunity for McDaniel to say, you know what, I can't rely on my quarterback. It's getting to be the cold time of the year right now. The weather report for Sunday doesn't look that nice. So this is one of those things where, hey, under 40, how does Tua do? He doesn't do well at all. So if McDaniel can say, look, we've got to become a running game. We've got to become that power game. The Brunskill does the big jumbo fat boy packages. Julian Hill, good God, man. I've hated on that guy. The guy put on some beef, and he has shown up and played this year. If Tua could actually put the ball in his hands, he'd get some good, yards, and probably some yards after the catch, because the guy's got some beef on him. But it's just, we have an anchor on this team named Tua Tagovailoa, and we have to find a way to win in spite of what he is right now.
Absolutely. So our guest is here, Antwan, for this. Let's welcome Antwan Staley. Antwan, welcome back to Fins TV.
Finally.
Hey, how y'all doing?
How you doing, brother? Good to see
I'm
you.
all right. How
Antwan,
y'all doing?
we're glad to have you back on Fins TV. Hopefully your Thanksgiving weekend, your Thanksgiving week was great. Your team won on Sunday. The Dolphins won too, so that sets up that winning versus winning team mentality on Sunday, right? No?
It ain't my team. I just covered the team.
I know. You know what I mean. I know you're a Raiders fan, but that's the team you covered. Come on, bear with me, guys. Come on. So
I just want to be clear. I'm just saying.
You're trying to get the stink off the Jets, and that's not my team.
He's just here so he doesn't get fined.
Yeah, absolutely. But both teams won on Sunday. Both with different kind of problems. Both with quarterback problems, because the Jets had some hopes with Justin Fields to be much better than has been. Tua's regression this year has been horrendous. And so both teams go into the offseason with quarterback questions. But I want to know your thoughts. Looking for afar, what are you hearing of the opinion? Everybody's talking over here in Miami about the regression of Tua physically. Are you hearing anything from where you're standing about how the Jets and the people in your part of the country sees the Dolphins situation right now with Tua and the Dolphins?
Well, I mean, I was one of the first people to say I thought the Dolphins would be. I didn't think they'd be very good this year, and I took a lot of criticism for that. I thought that they were a team that probably win 7 games, maybe 8, depending on what happens. But I just thought they were really flawed there. I thought Tua, obviously, I didn't expect him to play this poorly, to be quite honest with you. But I've never really been the biggest fan, and I just felt like the offense just hasn't really evolved there. I feel like 23 was just kind of their peak, and they've kind of been on the decline since then. I think now, it seems like just from afar, just watching some of their games, seems like the defense is starting to play a little bit better under Anthony Weaver too as well, and that's kind of really driving them and helping them, get a few wins there too. And I think McDaniel is also, doing some different things coaching wise, and adjustments have been, much better, just kind of for what I've seen. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of Jets fans up here and think Dolphins fans are delusional. So I think that's kind of what you, if that's what you're kind of, if that's what you're asking me, like, I think for me, I think Jets fans and Dolphin fans are a lot alike, because I think they're both tortured. I think they're both been through a lot, as far as their organizations, and they haven't won in a really long time. So I think you drive a lot of different emotions out of both of those organizations.
It happens, Steve.
No, I mean, gun to everybody's heads, we all saw what Tua really was. He was a physically limited quarterback who made a lot of great opportunity or took advantage of the great opportunities that he had at Alabama. And he really did peak 2 years ago when he put that beef on. Well, actually, they were playing a lot better, but he ended up having concussions in the big year of running it up. Came out the next year, played 17 games. We're like, wow, who is this Tua? So, we're now seeing that downward slope of who he is, but it's not just his physical limitations. It is as if he has really truly regressed, and I'm upset that Adrian is not with us today because he claims he's a Hurricanes fan, but I know he is a closet Gators fan. You can just go ahead and get it up. We know it. He is the loudest U fan, so I just know that he is. So, but I've had the pleasure this year of watching two quarterbacks with absolutely putrid play. DJ Lagway for the Gators, whose fundamentals are absolutely horrible, from his footwork to his release and everything. And when he gets the pressure, it's like he's got concrete blocks on his feet and he just gets tackled. And Tua's the same exact way, where there's no elusiveness. But I think what's really driving me the most mad about that is their demeanor afterward. It's not that anger of like, I'm pissed off, I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. Instead, we got Tua getting called out in press conferences. Hey, dude, you turn the ball over in bunches. And that's what he does, and he's continued to do those types of things. It's just really frustrating because you're a pro. You've got to find a way to go out there, and you say it. It's one thing to say you've got to hold yourself accountable, and then it starts with you, Tua. You're damn right it does. You're a $50 million a year quarterback. It's your job to step up and figure out how you're going to make it work with the physical tools that you have and that are declining right now.
But doesn't that coaching? Like, I think a lot of that has to do with coaching or lack thereof. If you look at the Gators and with DJ, I just feel like look at Napier. Like, he's very docile. Like, he's not a guy that's gonna, he was never a guy that's gonna just completely rip you and hold you accountable then and there. I think St. McDaniel was kind of the same way too. And I think you have quarterbacks that are kind of following that same type of lead that their coaches are. So I think that's where it starts. At least that's just my assessment of it.
No doubt. 100% it does. And that's why when we open the segment, I really think that the only thing that should save Mike McDaniel, which I don't think there's a chance in hell that Stephen Ross fires him, but the only thing that really could solidify him is if he goes out there and says, look, last 5 games of the year, I changed my tact. We may not have made the playoffs, but hell, we won 8 games with a very limited quarterback. Look at the tools that we have. And that could possibly save Mike McDaniel's job.
Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem I have. Okay, so if McDaniel comes back, what's the quarterback situation? Like, you can't run it back with this. You can't run it back. Yeah, you really can't run this back.
Then they draft somebody and he becomes Kirk Cousins sitting on the bench.
Like, who are you drafting? Because I can tell you, like, in my team I'm covering was one of them. There's going to be a lot of teams that in services for quarterbacks. The Jets.
No, it's a bad quarterback prospect for next year. I just think that we're really screwed in that regard. I'm not advocating for keeping Mike McDaniel, Antwan.
Yeah. No, I get it. I like the class. It's just not a big class of quarterbacks that's going to be available. No. That's all I'm saying too. I think it's really 2 that I like, and then the others have been kind of up and down too. But obviously Dante Moore and I think Mendoza, who's actually from Miami, are kind of the top 2 guys right now. At least that seems like it's going to be coming out in 26.
No doubt.
Shari, any thoughts?
Yes. Steve said he has to utilize the tools. I think he is the tool, not Tua. And Antwan, I get that coaching plays a major role in this, but these are grown-ass men who have to take some responsibility for themselves. And the denial for Tua to try to fix the fundamentals, he cannot get outside the pocket. He cannot. The lack of ability to buy time is striking, because for so many seasons he had all those weapons and he was able to get the ball out so quickly that it didn't matter. And now that his weapons are depleted, and I'm not saying he doesn't have any, because he does, it's just not the same as it was a few years ago. He has to be the field general. He has to be the one who, when the line breaks down, he can continue this play. He can extend the play, be a little mobile. He doesn't have to be 100% mobile. Dan Marino was feet in the mud also, but he was an accurate passer. Tua is a mess right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's been the same since the hip injury, but I know. I mean, obviously, he's been had moments where he's been really good. Obviously, that's why we're here with with the Dolphins and why they gave him the money that they did. But I just don't think he can really do it. Like I don't think physically he can just move like that, not even as well as he used to. And I think that's part of the problem too, especially in an offense like that he's running under McDaniel. Like I feel like you have to be able to utilize your legs just a little bit. You ain't got to be Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick or anything back there, but you got to be able to extend plays too, especially when you're without your top wide receiver, one of the best of all time, in Tyreek Hill, and now all of a sudden you got Jalen Waddle, but you also have a lot of diminished skills positions like you kind of alluded to. Yeah, you got to be able to buy time, and I just don't think it's something he could do.
No, I couldn't agree more. It's also, I'm sorry, Antoine is distracting me in the comments right now.
Adrian?
Not
Yeah.
Antoine, Adrian. Sorry, Adrian.
I'm about to say, am I in trouble?
No, you're not.
No,
It's
no,
Adrian.
no,
It's
no,
Adrian.
no.
The problem is we don't need him to be Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson, but boy, isn't it nice when you've got someone back there who can do something like that. So when the play isn't there, you can have an extension. Let's all be honest, when he gets pressured, it's going to be a sack or an injury or an interception. It's a hot mess. I mean, it's a disaster. I don't have any faith. I had faith in him before, and I've lost the ability to believe. And I think he's lost the ability to believe, and that's the bigger problem. So you think it's coach. If a coach can bring it back out of him, awesome. Do I think that's going to happen in Miami? I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. I think they need. I think it needs to be a change of scenery, like on some level. Like personally, I think they need to clean house. Like I think
I
get a
agree.
new GM, get a new coach. I think you just need to completely everybody in the division has turned over at some point in time within the last 5 years. Obviously, the Dolphins have done it a few times now. So have the Jets, but the Jets are currently rebuilding right now. The Patriots have kind of came out of their rebuild, and now look at them. They found they go for Tom Brady to Matt Jones in between, and now Drake May look like he's going to be a starter for the next damn 10, 15 years.
I don't want to talk about
Great,
it.
it's crazy. It's insane.
But it's like some conspiracy theory where they said that Brady cloned his dog, but he also cloned himself and did some age thing and been I don't know, man. He did it about the same exact time that Drake May could have been his clone.
It is a little scary.
It is scary. And Jason, I was going to ask you. So, what's our conversation going to be like next week? Tua's going into New York, Antoine. It's going to be cold. Tua doesn't do well. What happens after we've just spent the last 15 minutes beating this poor man down, and he goes in there and brings us a W when it's freezing cold and the weather is bad? Where do you stand on this, Jason?
Well, first and foremost, Antoine, what up, my dude? Love you. Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you for Jet Week here. I have a really scary envisioning of what might happen because Tua's going against a team that has not yet, Antoine, you can confirm this, has not yet gotten an interception this season.
Correct.
Oh,
Zero.
Correct. They only have one defensive turnover.
It wasn't even in this country. It wasn't even on U.S. soil.
I think it's coming, Jason. It's coming. Tua has 14.
That's what I'm nervous about is going into the stigma game. This is a stigma game. It's on the road in December. So will Tua be able to overcome that stigma? Will he be able to have a clean game and not throw an interception against a team that has not yet tasted pigskin this season from an interception standpoint? So I'm a little worried about that. But frankly, to tell you the truth, if Mike McDaniel does not deviate from the run, and that's not just giving 20 touches to Achane. They're 4-0 this season when he goes 20-plus carries. Get Jalen Wright involved. Get
Hell
Ollie
yeah.
Gordon involved.
Finally saw him a little on Sunday.
I don't want Tua throws this ball 30 plus times, they're gonna lose.
Why would you? Especially considering the Jets just gave up 140 something yards to Bijan Robinson on Sunday. So
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, you got to run the ball, especially when you got a weapon like Achan back there too as well.
Exactly right. And the thing that I get so nervous about with McDaniel, it's almost like, I use this reference a lot because this is what happens to me a lot. It's like being at a casino and you're hot for 2 hands, and then you move everything to the table because you think you're going to continue to stay hot. If the defense in the Dolphins gets a turnover, you don't have to go for the end zone the next play. Set up a drive. Dolphins get a turnover. Tua throws a first down punt, as the stands would like to call
Poor
it,
Sealer.
into double coverage, and you get an interception. Horrible call, horrible throw, horrible choices to not at least take a 2 or 3 minute drive, run, throw, get a first down, take some time off. The Dolphins could have had 30 points in that first half. They didn't. Look where we ended up, barely squeaking away. So McDaniel has to stick to what works. And if they do that, then I think that they can come out of New York with a win. But if this is let's watch Tua throw the ball and drop back 30 plus times, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I will say that I think the Jets defense is playing a lot better. I think the last time they played the Dolphins, they were one of the worst units in football, which is I think was surprising to a lot of people considering the previous 3 years they've been a top 5 unit. But now they're kind of middle of the road there. I think now they're starting to get the Steve Wilson, Aaron Glenn scheme a little bit. It's definitely a big change from Robert Saleh in that old era. And you still have some players that were still on the team before that were still getting adjusted. So I think they're playing a lot better, even without Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner, who they traded. I think Jawan Briggs has done a good job. Harrison Phillips, also the veteran, has done a good job, also in the middle too as well. And I think Quincy Williams has also played a lot better too as well. So I think overall, like I say, it's not a great defense, but they are playing much better than when the Dolphins saw them in September.
I have a question for you, Antoine.
Yeah, what's up?
The Jets right now they're not in the number 1 pick realm. Like they're just not. They're probably going to finish in like that 8 to 11 range.
It's a lot of bad teams this year, man.
Exactly. But obviously they're loaded up for maybe to make a move in 2027 or even make a move to trade for a quarterback, what have you, with their picks. But what is the mood in New York and New Jersey right now with the Dolphins coming in? Is there a mood of like, let's spoil this team's season, let's end them, or is there just let's just get this season over with?
Well, I think when you talk to the player, I know Aaron Glenn said this on the Zoom yesterday. He said they feel like they owe the Dolphins back after losing in Week 4 too. So he feel like it's payback time.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn just wants payback on getting paid. Aaron Glenn is bitter. I'm Mark Ingram and Dan Marino.
He is a Jet through and through. So yeah, he's definitely he understands the rivalry probably more than anybody else. But I mean, I think the Jets are just trying to get as many wins as possible. They have enough draft capital where they can trade up and get a guy like Mendoza or Dante Moore, whoever they so choose in the draft too as well. And because they have 2 first-round picks, and they also have the Cowboys' second-round pick too, in addition to their second-round pick. So they have a lot of options. There's a lot of they have a ton of options they could do. Like they can wait to 27, although I don't necessarily advise them doing so. I know they really like Mendoza, so I think depending on what it may cost to go up to number 1 and number 2, considering the Titans and the Giants don't necessarily need quarterbacks, that's probably what they're gonna do. But to answer your question, I think they want to spoil the Dolphins. They want to spoil everybody's season who's left on the schedule, whether it be Jacksonville coming up after the Dolphins, or obviously they got New England and Buffalo at the end of the year. But their mind of thinking is try to get as many wins as possible. Let's go into 26, on positive momentum where we can possibly, be a team like the Patriots. Not saying they're gonna be, but be a team like the Patriots where Patriots went 4-13 last year, and then look at them now. They're the top of the AFC, and they believe they have the parts that they could, be able to make a move where they could be one of those rising teams next season.
Steve, when I see the Jets, I see what the Dolphins were a couple of years ago. So many picks, but that didn't pan out. The Dolphins had the bad luck of, having those picks during the pandemic where you cannot interview people, you cannot bring in for workouts, and what that brought Austin Jackson, like Banagani, Tua with the hip and all that crap. So the Jets that round had a bounty of picks, but the bounty of picks doesn't necessarily guarantee you're gonna be prosper for the next couple of years. You
No,
don't have the
no,
right
it
person
doesn't.
picking them.
Hell, the Jets were in this position 4 years ago.
That's
I was
Exactly.
gonna say,
5 years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
So-
And they
like,
traded
just-
away.
and,
and it
know,
didn't
wash,
work out.
rinse, repeat.
Yeah, basically they took Zach Wilson, and they also took Elijah Vera Tucker in the first round in 21, and in 22 they took Sauce Garrett, and they traded up to get Jermaine Johnson too as well. So they had 5 first-round picks in 2 years, and you would think that would accumulate to some winning, but it hasn't. Like it hasn't at all. Like the Jets hadn't had a winning season in 10 years. So yeah, you can have all the picks in the world, but you got to be able to hit on the right guy, and you definitely got to hit on the quarterback. Because if you don't hit on the quarterback, I don't care who else you hit on, whether it be Sauce Gardner or Garrett. None of it really matters if you don't have the quarterback, which all y'all know is the head of the snake.
100%. Yeah, it's incredible. But, you have that excuse. We'll call it an excuse. I don't think that it would have changed a thing of how they would have treated the 2020 draft if they'd been able to sit face-to-face, because they were going after Tua. They couldn't get Burrow, then they were going to get to hell or high water. They weren't going to take I don't know. Maybe the interview would have changed something, but I don't think that anything was going to work them off of it. What was their excuse in 2021? I mean, yeah, they hit Waddle. Yeah, they got Phillips. They got some draft compensation back for him. Okay, cool. But I'm always going to go back to that Eichenberg trade up. And 30 picks later, 25 picks later, Creed Humphrey goes off the board. And I'm just like, they traded up for Liam. So I don't know. But here's the bottom line. We're going to see right now, we're getting into December. It is December right now. This is historically our time of crumbling. We're going to see this weekend the poor weather. It's going to be in Mike McDaniel's hands. The defense is going to show up. Might take them a slow start a little bit, warm up, do what they're going to do. But I think that he'll get them going. But McDaniel has got to run the ball, and this is going to see. And if they show up and they do the same thing that we always see him do, Tua is not – he can't perform well in the 80-degree perfect weather conditions right now. See how it's going to be in high wind, rain, and cold in New York this weekend.
Well, at least you don't have to. I don't think you have to worry about the rain. Although, it tends to rain a lot for all Jets games, so you may have to worry about that somewhat. But the wind definitely for sure, because it's as you know, it's always windy, especially in the Meadowlands. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a problem for both guys there, especially Tyrod Taylor too as well, who come in and replace Justin Fields and also done a serviceable job. Not great, but he does love to throw the ball down the field.
You're going to see the second coming of Tyrod Taylor this week, man. We have that way. We make Jacoby Brissett look like Michael Vick. Seriously, man, it's going to be incredible. Look out, man. Whoever you have for your prop bets, take the over on Tyrod Taylor this week. Touchdown,
Forget
10
about
yards,
prop
man.
bets because they're all fixed anyway. That's my opinion. But
Just
maybe
have
the
John
wind will help Tua be more on target down the field, and he'll just use that draft to get that extra few yards under the ball to go.
That's what I hope for, Shari, when I'm golfing, is that the wind is at my back.
Yes.
All right? But when the wind is in my face, no bueno. And
Hand the
that's
ball to Achan. That's what you
There you
do.
go. Exactly right. But Tua, as you said, Antoine, it's the hip. I honestly think that there's a degenerative hip situation when he has to put his full body power into releasing a 15-yard out that's going to zip past defenders and get to a wide receiver or a tight end, what have you. It just you see that, and I think that when he's trying to elude the pocket or maybe try to slide and pick up a first down, he celebrates because he was short of the sticks, but he thought he got it. He's scared to take hits because of the concussion. So you have a hip problem for the throwing power. You have the mental worry, concussion presence to run. He's not going to put his shoulder down. He's not going to dive for a first down. I think those are huge problems. And I think we're going to see a situation or two where it's going to come out in New York, and that's what I'm really worried about.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, I think it's kind of like a pre-existing condition. Like he's had it for, obviously the hip injury happened over 5 years ago, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he can't feel effects from it from years on. And obviously him taking a beating certainly doesn't necessarily help that either. And that over time, all that stuff adds up. All this stuff adds up, whether you talk about the concussions, the hits that he's taken, just the minor injuries that he had, whether it be in Alabama or Miami. And, yeah, I mean, I think you're really seeing it now. He just doesn't look like the same guy for whatever reason. It's not just the decision making or the lack thereof, because he is making some crazy decisions. Because some of the passes, I'm just like, yeah, I can't believe he made that decision. But it's just the fact that the lack of velocity on the ball. Like, I think that's a little bit alarming, and you can't expect that to get better as he continues to age.
All of us. I mean, I think about myself getting up in the morning and everything hurts, and I'm old, but I'm not that old. My little things add up. Imagine all the hits you take over the years, and you're coming with that hip. I don't see any way this goes forward where he gets better. I mean, I know I said he needs a change of scenery. I hope for his sake he stays healthy, he stays safe, doesn't have any more bunks on the noggin, because he's a man and he's a husband and he's a father, and I don't want to see those things for him. But it's not going to feel better. His hip's not going to feel better as he gets older. It's not going to feel better with every hit that he takes. So the Dolphins have, I mean, we've said it a million times, we've got a big hurdle to overcome, and we need to get a GM in and a coach in that are going to be able to take these problems on head on. And if we don't do that, it's going to be more of the same for a long time.
You might have to just, like, if you're going to have a new coach and GM, like, you could just do what the Broncos did with Russell, and then just pay him. Just pay him to go away. Like, seriously, like, just take it on the chin for a first year. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And then now look at the team like the Broncos, like, a few years later, now they're contending in the AFC, like, pretty high seed. So, yeah.
That could have been us, but Stephen Ross just decided to take Sean Payton on a yacht with Tom Brady, and look what happened. So.
Yeah, just take your lumps now. Just take your lumps now and just take your medicine now and deal with it.
Either way, we take our lumps and our medicine next year. We either end up with the McDaniel Tagovailoa show again, or we end up with a whole new regime, and it's going to take time to build that. I don't see how any way next year isn't going to be crap, but I would like to see the crap going in the right direction rather than the same old crap.
Correct.
I wanted to ask Antwan this too, and your thoughts from. I mean, you're a Dolphins insider, even though you work for the Jets or write for the Jets. You're still a Dolphins guy, but now
just like Adrian is a Gator, he is a Dolphin.
He's gonna kill you.
The second you said that about
Adrian, the Dolphins, the Jets fans are gonna hate you.
Well, if we get a bunch of Jet fans watching this, it's worth it.
Well, first off, shout out to Adrian. The second you said the you and the Gators, I'm like, Adrian is going to respond in 2 seconds. I can't wait to see it.
It's coming.
But,
it's coming.
I hope he feels better, Adrian. You're the man. But, Antwan, a lot of people say that the Dolphins as an organization, they're not looking good for 10 years. That this GM job, if it's going to be a new GM, is not a very attractive job. I respectfully disagree. I think it's a massively intriguing job for a GM that has not yet been a GM but wants that first job to say, I'm the guy that's going to fix this crap.
Yes.
So I'm going to get rid of everybody. I got 6 picks in the top 112 as it is now. Let me pay Tua and get rid of them. Let me become the next Broncos. Let me become the next Patriot. I think that for the right guy, Alex Hallaby in Philly, for the right guy, he's ready to become the next Theo Epstein of football and be like,
Yeah.
Give me this job because I'm going to fix it. What are your thoughts on that?
I think, is it an easy job? No. But is it a rewarding job? Yeah, I think it is, because like now you can do so many different things. Like you can, obviously you're going to be handicapped for a year, obviously with the quarterback situation, so you go the route that the Broncos with and Russell Wilson, Tua, but still, like, you have a lot of draft picks, you have a lot of equity there you can be able to use, and you can build the team your way. That's the whole thing. Like, that's why I think it's an attractive job. And let's say you turn the Dolphins around, like, and get them into a contending spot, you would be known for the guy that turned the Miami Dolphins around. Like, I've always
get a statue next to Dan Marino and Don.
Hell yeah,
that's
you
what
would.
you would do.
I've always said this, and Miami is a football town. I think, you visit there, you can just tell, like, I know the Heat have had a lot of success in the last 25 years or so, and that's all and great. But if the Dolphins win a Super Bowl, that town will shut down. Like, it would be insane. If the Kings
So will this house.
Dolphins, yeah, I'm telling you, like, it would be just complete bonkers around there. So it is still a Dolphins town. Like, so that in itself would, that's a big reason why anybody should take this job, more or less, and also, like, everything that you can do with it. So I think it's an attractive job for a lot of different reasons.
And if for some reason Ross makes the next GM keep McDaniel for a year, tell me that's not the perfect scapegoat for the next GM. While he gets his ducks in a row, he can blame all the crap on McDaniel for one more year and then progress.
And you got an owner that likes to spend money. Like it's not like Ross doesn't like to spend money. He may not spend money wisely.
He doesn't spend it wisely, exactly.
But
Yep.
he does spend money. He does like spending money, which some owners in the NFL do not. Like some owners are very cheap, like AKA like the Cincinnati Bengals, for example. Like so, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of owners that don't necessarily like spending the money, but Ross is willing to do that. So that's another reason why I think it's an attractive gig.
You'd recreate a movie, Brewster's Millions, call it Ross's Billions. Just how he has to go out there and just seemingly blow his money on shit.
I mean, the man comes
year
down
after
from
year
New York.
after year.
The man comes down from New York to South Florida like each week to watch the game.
Every
So
week. It's
yeah.
insane.
Lands his little helicopter.
Absolutely. Antoine, we appreciate you. Please, how can they find you on social media so anyone who wants to follow you? Everybody, you have fans on Dolphins and Fins Nation, but for those who don't know, how can they follow you on social media?
Just my name, Antwan Staley. It's pretty simple. All social media platforms there. I also find my work at the New York Daily News.
Awesome. I'm sure we'll see you next year. I can't wait. Hopefully, the Dolphins are on the ups and the Jets are on the downs, but we had to wait to see about that. So I appreciate you, Antoine. Hopefully,
Antoine, great seeing you,
Thanks,
brother.
Antoine. Always
Hey,
pleasure.
I'll be around the all season, so I don't know if y'all do all season shows, but hey, you know how to find me.
you bet we will. Thank you, Antoine. We'll see you during the offseason then. Let's go to the next segment. Let's go to the Fins TV overreaction. Thank you, Antoine.
See, Antoine.
Well, as we already know, so many Dolphins fans love to be miserable. They just can't wait. Sometimes they're always thinking about the draft and the offseason, and we're offseason champions, if you ask me. But, this time, there's seen some Dolphins fans around who, they're overreacting way too positivity, way too much positivity. The Dolphins are going to make a run. They're making, we're in the hunt charge. We're going to make the playoffs. So I'm going to go around the Dolphins making a run. Jason, is that an overreaction?
They have the ability to make a run, but a couple of things worry me. Now, again, we're asking them to go into 3 out of the 5 games on the road in cold weather situations. Jets, Steelers, end of the year against the Patriots. So right then and there, you're starting off on kind of a very, very tall order. Now, you get guys like Cincinnati and Joe Burrow, Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield sandwiched in between that. So I'm not putting the mortgage on 5 straight wins to make it 8 straight to finish the year. I really need to see how they go into this Jet game before I make any decision on the rest of the season. Because if they go in, and it's what I said last week talking about the Saints, if they go in and wallop the Saints and then wallop the Jets, there's hope. I would not want to see them eke out a win. What did they do? They eked out a win. So if there's another eke out of a win, and they did that week 11 in Madrid against the Commanders, they could have lost the game if Matt Gay hits a field goal, which he had the distance for. So they have gotten remarkably lucky in the last 2 victories. So I'm not penciling them in as a 10-win playoff team at the moment. I'm going week by week the next 5 weeks.
So that's a great point. That's a way to see it. Shari, are you with the ones who are basically saying the Dolphins are going to make a run? The Dolphins making a run, is that an overreaction?
No, oh my gosh, that's such a huge overreaction because let's be honest, every game that we win, we're surprised a little bit. No one's gone into this stretch. I won't say no one. We have some crazy fans, and that's a good thing. Positivity is a good thing. Hopium's a good thing. But realistically speaking, I go into each game just so happy if we get a win at this point because we've ruined our draft perspective. We're not going to be at the top, just like Antoine said about the Jets. We've won just enough to be mediocre. Okay, cool. There's not really a top guy we're after anyway right now. It's fine. Well, I'll take the wins when they come. Do I think we're going to make a run? My God, do I think even if we did, we'd have any glimmer of hope in a playoff game? No. Will I take every game I can get? Sure. Want to give me a garbage playoff game in some freezing cold, sub-zero temperature where I can listen to everybody complain about how Miami never wins there? It's a game. It's still a game. I was at the playoff game in Miami when we played, got crushed by the Ravens for the 2008 season, and it was the worst beating, but it was so great to be at a playoff game. So no, I'm not on the overreaction train. I take every win, like Jason, you said, take it week at a time, and then maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised, or maybe we'll be validated as what we said in the beginning of the year.
That game was my daughter's baby shower. That was 16 years ago.
Oh.
So it's been. I didn't see the game, so I didn't get to see even that one. So it's been a while.
Wow.
Steve, again, like Shari said, it's good to be hopeful. It's good to feel happy about it. With Dolphins, we're going streaking. We're 1-3 in a row. That's a streak. But I see the chart and I see in the hunt, but then I see all those teams above us. I see the Bills, lurking the 7th spot. I see the Chiefs, and I see the Bengals who are getting hot behind us, right? They're ready to lap us, and I think, ready for a run? I think that's a overreaction. One of the other thoughts. Is that an overreaction? The Dolphins making a run and basically find a way to squeak to the playoffs.
No, I mean, but you've got all these fans out here in a hurry to overreact and call us a playoff team. Like, I'd love to be the Bears. I'd love to be the Lions from Detroit, but it's not Halloween. Grow up, Peter Pan, Count Chocula. We've been Dolphins fans for decades, and we're in for a lot more pain. So that's a shout-out to my Wedding Crashers love. One of the best lines of that whole movie. Just got to wake up. It's an overreaction from hell to say that there's any chance that we are going to make the playoffs. You hit the nail on the head. We've got a lot of really good teams up ahead of us that, frankly, deserve to be there. You've got a Texans team that their defense is straight up shutting teams down. I mean, the Bengals, I'm okay, good. They won a game. Burrow's back. It's, I don't think teams really had a way to game plan against him. It's kind of like that backup quarterback his first game when there's not a lot of game tape to figure out how they're going to, game plan against him. I would like to see the Bengals actually stack those together, but side by side, I'd give the Bengals the edge over us. Okay, dude. Answering your question, it's a major overreaction. It's not going to stop me from enjoying my week-to-week times here that we have. So,
and what I said the other day too, Steve, to you was, I am not invested enough in the Dolphins' ability in the playoffs to follow what other teams are doing and what has to happen to that team and this team so that the Dolphins can come out and grab that last in the hunt spot. Don't care. If it happens, it happens, but I am not spending bandwidth, brain power to try to figure out my wonderful nephew, Reese, who can spew it all out to you in 2 seconds that so-and-so and so-and-so need to lose and this needs. No. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. If we make it cool, great, an extra game. If not, it's exactly what I expected was going to happen.
And we called it earlier. So many fans that they've, when the Dolphins started losing, say, we want the number one overall pick. We know the Dolphins. Talk about that with Jake Mandel. We knew this was about to happen. That the Dolphins should make it wrong. And between that 11th and 15th spot, that's where we probably gonna end.
Well, I mean, they had us on the graphic, but conveniently bumped us down. But we're 5-7. We don't deserve to be on that damn graphic.
Correct.
No.
Yeah, but if the Chiefs lose again and the Dolphins win on Sunday and they're behind us in the tiebreaker, they're gonna put us in just to put the Chiefs in the graphic.
We've lived enough Decembers and Januaries in the past 25 years to know how this goes.
Absolutely. Jason, any last thoughts?
I just really hope that they do the right thing in New York against the Jets, game plan the proper way, get out of there with the win, defense, special teams, ground control, and I think they could do it. Every week I see Tua make the decisions. I get less and less of a Tua supporter. I was never a Tua stan. I was always a Tua supporter. Just like I was always a Ryan Tannehill supporter until it was like, all right, I'm done. It's enough already. So hopefully they could.
Talking about the Jets, that's a great segue. Let's go to the.
I was going to say.
Yes.
I try.
it's the Jets. It's always fun to play the Jets, and when you win, when you lose, it's not so much fun. So the weather is going to be a factor. It's not expected to be, I don't know, the winter storm or anything for as far as I know, but it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be very, very cold. Tua has struggled with the kind of the wet ball on Sunday. The first play of the game was a low snap, and he wasn't that comfortable. Even with a slight rain during the second half, there was a chance that there was a time in the game where it started raining. You can see that that's not his cup of tea. So going to the cold weather. I said it. I wanted to say in the segment before, but it's not. I said it before so many times on Fins Facebook with George Albaran, our friend. It's not about the Dolphins winning for Mike Bennett to save his job. It's how they win. Are they running the ball? Are they winning in December in the cold wins? That's what Mike Bennett has not been able to do. If we win some of those games, like the Saints game that we expected to win, okay, cool. But can he do it in New England late against a good New England team at the end of the year? Can they do it? Can he do it in Pittsburgh Monday night? Because it was confirmed that this week that game is going to be a Monday night. That game is going to be cold. So let's stick to the Jets. I digress. Jason, do the Dolphins win on Sunday?
Oh, direct question, fearful answer. You know what? I am going to have confidence that they're going to win, but I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be a 31-12 game. I think it's going to be a field goal type of a game, and I think it's going to be a nail biter. And I really think that you're going to need every aspect of this team, especially Riley Patterson, to kick through the wind, to get 39 or 43-yard field goals when we can't punch it in. Jake Bailey's going to have to continue his run. And the most important guy on the field, I would say, is to continue to be Jordan Brooks. You got Brees Hall that you're going up against, to not let him get to the second level. So if Brooks and special teams could have continued great days and the offense doesn't sputter and McDaniel sticks with the run, I think they get out of there with a 23-20 win.
Absolutely.
Jordan, wow. Hey, how about that? Didn't even see that. It's my guy.
Oh, that was very close, yes. Shari, do the Dolphins win on Sunday?
I want to say yes. The weather scares me because that's just like Jason, that's our stigma. This season, I don't know what up is down and down is. I don't know. Okay, are they going to win? That's the question. Yes, I'm going to say they're going to win, and I am going to say that it's going to be on the shoulders of Achane and Riley Patterson, that Tua is not going to help. My concern is that he just doesn't hurt.
Steve.
We played down to our competition level. The only time we didn't, well, actually, we did against Buffalo because they came in, they were a strong team, and we showed up stronger than we have all season long. So we play really poorly against teams that really we should dominate. A good example being last week against the Saints. I actually do think that McDaniel is going to come out and game plan a lot of the power running game, a lot of that outside zone, and as soon as they have to come down and respect it, that it's going to open up a lot more Waller. So I think that we're going to have a solid game. I think that they're going to end up winning, but it has the potential of a classic Dolphins-Jets in the 2000s, just absolute stinkfest that's going to be low scoring.
All I have to say is surprise me. Surprise me, Tua. Surprise me, Daniel. Do something that none of us are very confident in doing, going to the cold weather against a division rival, but sometimes you just go and put the bed. So surprise me, my Daniel. Surprise me, too. Let's go. Let's go to the big finish. Well, follow us on social media. We are everywhere. We are on X. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. So please like and subscribe. Go to YouTube. Give us a subscribe. We really help us out. We're trying to build the YouTube community. But I've seen everybody's done on YouTube. All our friends everywhere. Even the big fish in the sea are done on YouTube. So hard times for the fans, who have channels on YouTube. But let's go to our freaking live standings.
Fins TV, it's do or die. We're chasing wins, no alibi.
The pick and league now is really, really, really white hot. A logjam at the top. Let's start at number 10. At number 10, Blue from Day at number 9. The Freak at number 10. 8. Steve Hallett at number 7. House at number 6. Yes, at number 6. Bobby Shouse at number Beer the Fan number 5. Bobby Fins at number 4. Adrian Reed number 3. Jason Sarney number 2. And number 1, Spirit Fingers Gloria. Congrats to Gloria. Our new number 1. First female to ever lead the Fins TV Pick and League. They say that who's supposed to be here.
Atta girl.
He's a spirit.
Antwan, man, he just must have forgotten. It's all over for him now.
I don't know. That's been the killer for so many people. That falling behind and finding a way not to forgetting. It's hard sometimes. I know of people who basically had done it and then they double check and the picks are gone. So that also happens too. So Adrian, get well soon. We'll hopefully see you back next week.
Yeah,
Jason, Grace, and Zoe, what do we have cooking on Dolphins Wire this week? And we're a friend just have around tomorrow on Fins Faithful.
Yeah, we actually, I think it's safe to tease. We're going to have Dave Hyde, the great Dave Hyde, on Fins Faithful tomorrow with George and I. So thank you to Dave. We look forward to that. He'll be making a return appearance to the Faithful show. And Shari, I agree with you. Props are fixed. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
But I'm still going to put out my 7 props for the Dolphins Jets. I'm going to indicate 5 players to watch for the Jets that Dolphin fans need to kind of focus on, and an overall betting preview on Friday and Saturday coming up on USA Today's Dolphins Wire.
Yeah, just look at Koo if you want to know about fixing games. My God, a kicker hitting the dirt. Give me a break.
Or Young Boy.
That was something. That was something.
That was something.
Never
Like
saw that.
Never.
Kill it tomorrow with George, with Dave High. Spoiler alert, he's going to be on Fins TV next Tuesday at 8. So kill it tomorrow and he'll be with us, Dave High with us tomorrow. I'm sorry, next Tuesday on Fins TV. Shari, great as always. How you enjoy your Thanksgiving week, your anniversary week.
Thank you.
Great as always. Love you, Shari. Steve, another week in the books. We're getting close. We're getting close to the off-season. I cannot wait. We are the off-season champions, Steve. We're getting so close.
You know what? I don't wish for the season to be over because then it's just like the holidays are over. It's a long grind until your next day's off of work. Dolphins football. I'm enjoying it because, again, Sammy, I set the expectations low. Just get on. Come on, man. Come on over. Have a seat next to me and just join the no expectations train.
Yeah, actually, you remember I had low expectation. We had the very same pick, winning games. So I think I was a little bit lower than you in the hope. We had to go back and rewatch the tape.
It might have been, but you let yourself bounce. Anyway, all right, guys.
As a content creator on a losing season, I cannot wait for the season to be over. So, win or lose on Sunday, as I always say, at least we have each other, Fin Station. Fins up.
Fins up.
We have each other. The city's alive. Palm trees swaying. The heartbeat survives. It's the show we all crave. Miami Dolphins ride the wave. Ride the wave. Ride the wave. Miami perfect. We're
Thanks for
living
watching
the dream.
Fins TV. Please like and subscribe.
Supreme.